do that.
Yeah, I am. What? Sometimes
Moving along, do we have any guests?
President Tom, there's no one signed up on the visitors register for today.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I'm turning this over to Pat Nyla.
Woo! Oh, well, yeah, she swings. She doesn't have much of a follow through though. She hits off and it's just light. Well, guys, here we go. It's the first meeting in February. If you guys want to save up your Valentine's Day presents for me, I won't be here because I will be in Las Vegas. Seriously? Well, neither am I, so I'll pay a quarter for mine. Skip's got $1. Thank God we broke the ice.
Thank you.
Jeez Louise, it's like being at a Rotary meeting there for a minute.
President Tom, acting President Vice First Chair Lloyd. I still can't. I'm so used to that. I have a happy dollar. Just want you to know we have a long lost. I gotta get this off of this. It's crazy. We have a long lost member here for his perfect attendance pin. No, I'm sorry, Rick. Rick, you're way ahead. This is Rick Johnson, for those of you that have never met him. He's been in the club for 30 years, right? 30, a long time. Anyway, it's great to see you. Steve, great to see you as well. Terry, a shock to see you, but that's okay. Well, I saw Ryan 2 weeks ago. It was, yeah, actually, I do. I can get it. I'm done now. Do we have a long program ahead?
You're up to $5 now anyway.
Okay, well then I'm going to keep going. So it all started in 1968. It was a wonderful year.
He's done. Yeah, he's also a tail twister, but he said he was too chicken to do it today. He did say that.
President Tom, fellow Lions Club members, it's been a long time. It's been 2 years since I've been here. So, anyway, I'll pass on the perfect attendance badge. I can get it maybe next week. But 21 years into it, I left the car business last week. That was 1/3 of my life. So, thank you to everybody in this room that I did business with, and that's a lot of you. I sold a lot of you cars. I really thank you all for that. It's great to be back.
You're welcome, sir. I'm going right to the guy in the black sweatshirt who isn't wearing anything spirit-wise, just so I can shame him. He will put nothing in the bucket. I'm telling you that. Get over yourself.
Skip. Oh, they didn't give me one.
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests, and fellow Lion Mike, she really picked on you. Yeah. I want to see that uniform next time. President Tom, fellow Lions and guests, I have $2. The first one is a very happy dollar. She doesn't want my money. And that is for a very successful zone meeting last week, hosting the zone. And I want to just thank all of the Lions that attended. And also, I had a very successful cabinet meeting that was going to be in person and hybrid with Zoom, but we went to Zoom last Saturday. We had about 28 or 31 Lions attending, and some of the pioneers attended. I want to say Greg came, past district governor, he's a past zone chair, past district governor Mark, and who else? was a guest as well, okay. But overall, we had a great attendance. What are you doing? Did I miss you? You're part of the cabinet. I'm talking about the guests. Okay. He says, don't forget me. All right, and then I've got $1 that's kind of fun. You know, Lions are in the recycling business, right? You know, we have recycled newspapers, cans, and whatnot. And I was going through some Christmas cards and Valentine cards the other day, some that have happened in the past years. And I came across a couple for Steve and I that we'd given each other. And I asked him if maybe he wanted to recycle them. Hey.
Who wants to, okay, Mr. Phil Stroh.
President Tom Phillips, I guess I have 3 sad dollars, and if you'd be kind enough to take this to John, he'll explain.
Okay, sorry.
President Tom, I hate to announce that my good friend Phil has been abandoned by his family. They've all gone down to the desert, and Phil is going to, of course, go to be with his family. But he is very sad to leave God's country, and of course, all of us here. Philip will miss you.
And unfortunately, I'm going to be a lonely bachelor for several months.
Here or there?
Mr. Jim Reinecke, past district governor.
King Lion Tom, fellow lions and guests. I had a sad dollar or happy dollar to start with, but Phil, that'll be my sad dollar to see Phil go. He was my boss for about 5 years, and a great boss. I hate to see him go. He also taught me everything I know about golf, Terry.
That's why Terry wins.
My happy dollar is that last week, for the second time in 2 years, we went to Lincoln City, and I took the Indians to the cleaners. Again, I come out $150 ahead. However, the room went up from $90 a month to $180 a month. And the meal went up from $15 to $40. So they came out ahead overall, I think.
Somebody got you. Should have gone for the bridal suit. Yeah. Well, the rose petals in the bathtub.
I was gonna say, he had the jacuzzi in the room, that's what it was. Lionheart.
Last time I had a jacuzzi room, I couldn't get in out of it, it was on a wall that night.
President Tom, District Governor Maryland, fellow lions and guests. First of all, happy February Fool's Day.
Yay!
A few people probably get that, the others just go right over it. And the second dollar is a sad dollar. We will definitely miss Phil Olson.
I don't even want to talk about Phil leaving.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to him. Lion Jim.
President Bond, Tom, fellow Lions and friends, I was only going to give $5, but when I heard the bad news, Phil, I got to tell you, I could do a testimonial right now for Phil and everything he has meant to this community. It's amazing. It's well beyond Lions. The Humane Society, Progress Center. I have seen his service to the community on so many occasions. When I go home to tell my wife, she's probably going to bawl like a baby. We're going to really miss Phil. But we have another maybe 2 months just to torment him. Yeah, well, let's make his life really miserable. Like from up there, his humor was so cutting and so good. But I'm going to give $5 for Phil. $5 for the Veteran Service Center. I left a reminder of our golf tournament on June the 4th.
Thank you.
And it's the same format. We appreciate the Lions' support over the years. We're up and running full-time, and I guess I'm going to be the speaker today. I just found out I was recruited. So we'll all be off the top of my head, which isn't very high, as you know.
Yeah. I'm not sitting there either. Yeah. I can see it from here. We're gonna come down this way, come back around. How about Lion Rod's Dogma?
Spirit Day fine.
Spirit Day fine. There's a guy. There's a guy.
I'd like to
Yeah, well.
have an announcement when we get to that.
Well, and Mike.
King Lion, Tom, Phil Lions, and guests. Talked to my granddaughter yesterday. Our great-grandson is amazing, the doctors down at Dornbecker. They are pretty sure there are going to be no lasting effects, and he's already giving his mother all kinds of problems, so he's getting back to normal real quick.
I really like Lion Wall.
That's enough said. There's a happy dollar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let Greg go ahead.
Here, you want to talk, Greg?
Okay.
There you go.
President Tom, Phil Lions, and guests, this is Happy Buck. I'm really happy for Steve Holst. He spent 3 more years in the car business than I did, and he probably did a lot better job, too.
Yeah.
Oh, there is that.
You sold a car one time.
Where are the Casanovas' spirit today? All right.
Why not 2?
And you have a badge. It's not on, but I'll let you slide. What? Because you sell good wine. I said he sold good wine.
President Tom, Phil Lions, and guests, I want to have a sad dollar there for Phil, because Phil's meant a lot to me over these years. Yeah, and you know what? I think you have to let us know when your last meeting is, okay? Because I think we could have a rib roast.
I believe it.
You believe it? And you can handle it, right? No, you can't handle it though. Steve Holst, I drove by your lot the last month and saw, what, 3 cars? I was wondering when you were going to say, I can't sell 3 cars. So glad to have you back, buddy. Yeah, I know it. And my Explorer is still running well. And finally, I had a great time in Las Vegas. I got to tell you at the National Council of Exchangers meeting, and I got to tell you one interesting thing, is I always try to take the monorail. Anybody done the monorail in Las Vegas, right? Remember how you used to be able to see the whole city? Now you see the Wynn staff parking lot. And it is about, what, 2 blocks long? Something like that. It's just crazy. So my monorail days in Vegas might be over.
So it's a bad thing.
Don't
Okay.
drive yourself. If it's this big round building you're building, I'm not sure what it is.
Hey, President Tom, Phil Lions, and guests, do you know the first time you went on the monorail?
Oh.
Took him 3 days to get back to the other end of town. Hey, I got a couple of different happy bucks going on here, and not just making fun of my brother, even though I like doing that. So the reason I'll actually be in Vegas over the Super Bowl weekend. Then when I get back, we start a series of the tests, and then on the 22nd, I'm having a heart surgery. So we'll find out what is left, if anything, in there then. So if you see me that week after, that means the surgery worked, and if you don't, I love you all too. We got
David's last.
Yeah, I'm walking down here as we're supposed to. Hi! Hi!
God, she is just one in a million. Y'all know what do they say about them down south? Ain't she sweet? Ain't she sweet? Why they?
Shut up, Sharon.
Sharon knew what that meant.
Yeah. So do I.
Well, there's 10 happy bucks. 10 happy bucks from Lion.
Whoa, thank you, David.
President Lion, Tom, fellow Lions, and guests, and whoever else might be here, girls too, and ladies, whatever.
gonna make a joke about the little cucumber overland over there. Well, I got a little salad down here with a napkin over it, you know, it'd be a smart aleck and possibly make it through the lunch, but she spoiled that. She spoiled that little thing, talked about the cucumber over there in the corner, or in the middle of the aisle. She picked it up with a nice little napkin or something. Anyway, let's bring it on down. Here's the song for you. As much as I can remember, I think it's 3 out of 4 verses. I'll make it quick. Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When the people with the hearing aids are going, okay, I'm working on it. When I think that God is not some not sparing, no, I missed it. When through the woods and forest glades I wander, and feel the brooks, and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When I think... Okay, all right, Baba. So let's just remind ourselves of microphone etiquette. If you've got a deep baritone voice, don't do that. You've got to bring it down here. Anybody else got a happy buck for us? Oh! Gretchen, who has the wretched kitchen. Did you see how that alliteration? Pick that one up?
President Tom Bell Lines and Guests have a happy dollar because the mold is gone.
Yay! Yay! Oh. So I think we're all about to move in. Cool! Hey, President Tom, we're all done, so we're going to count some money and let you know what's going on.
Didn't you, Mike? Didn't you want it? Skip. Somebody had $1 over there. Didn't you have $1? Okay. Okay, we'll move on.
I thought that Mike had $1, but
Hi, Mike. You thought Mike had $1. Oh my goodness. If he did, he would have turned it into a fishing trip. No, this is better. This is better. Yeah. There, all. President Tom Bell Lines and Guests. The other day I got a picture over the internet. The grandson that lives in Lahui, Hawaii, got his firstborn, 9 years old, and about 150 pounds, I think. Wow. All right. Secretary Cindy, Red Letter Day, Mike cut loose of $5. Okay, just gonna say it out loud. Proud of you, boss.
Okay, moving along here, we don't have a guest speaker today, so we're just gonna... You're on, Jim. We'll turn it over to Jim here. He's got something to bring up.
Tom, are you going to give him your mic? Oh.
guess you guys are really slumming today. I want to use the word slumming before I talk to the president, right? President Tom, fellow Lions, guests, and Mike Firth. Hey, yeah, Mike always balances everything out, except in boats. I wanted to mention the Veteran Service Center. I left that card out there on June the 4th. We're having our golf tournament again this year, and it's been a great experience for those who have attended. We've had lots of Lions. We appreciate your support. This is fantastic. The Lions have been supporting the Veteran Service Center since the beginning. We came through the pandemic. We were only working partial hours and tried to do as much as we could virtually, but we did make some appointments and hold them. We're back up running full-time, 5 days a week, 9 to 2. We're seeing veterans. We haven't seen a drop-off in their needs. We have 5 veteran service officers. Now, a veteran service officer is responsible for meeting with the veteran and finding out what their needs are, advising them where they can submit claims, everything from food to housing to a disability. We meet with widows. I've had several situations where we've been able to get the veterans' ashes buried at Willamette National Cemetery, arrange for a Patriot Guard. And if you haven't seen this, they're amazing. It's the Legion Post 55 in Kelso, Guy Rathman Legion Post. They meet with us in Kalama. We deliver the ashes. They are very formal. They pick up the ashes. They put them on one of the motorcycles, and they drive them down, flags flying, family following. We occupy the fast lane, so if you're complaining about somebody who's in the fast lane going 55, could be the Patriot Guard. They just take it over. And we drive to Willamette National Cemetery, where the veteran is buried with honors at no expense to the veteran. And that's important. And so many of the widows don't know about this opportunity, and unfortunately some of them go to one of the funeral homes before they make the arrangements, and they're not told that you can do all of this free.
Can the spouses be buried?
Yes, they can be buried with their spouse. But, in fact, we just had one last week. The spouse is still alive, but she wants to be buried there, and so what they do when we make the arrangements for the burial at Willamette National Cemetery, they reserve a spot for the spouse. So, and that's touching. The veteran is then buried, and they get the marker free, and Willamette National Cemetery is a beautiful, beautiful location. It's very touching. So we do that. Like I said, the Veterans Relief Fund, which is a really substantial county fund, and we are able to access some of that money for the cremation expenses. But in any event, it's also available for housing. When the veteran gets a notice that they're being evicted, we can apply to the Veterans Relief Fund. We actually do the interview at our office, make the recommendation, and they sometimes get their rent paid. Unfortunately, I said sometimes, because everybody knows that we had a moratorium on evictions. And unfortunately, there's way too many people that just decided they weren't going to pay the rent during that period of time. And the criteria for the Veterans Relief Fund is only about $800, and that's not going to pay off 4 or 5 months worth of rent. But we work with other organizations, and the county has received, as you know, millions of dollars, and hopefully they'll be able to roll in and fix those situations. But in any event, we're there. We help with PUD bills, before, if they get a shut-off notice, we've done that. We had one young man, he's my age.
He is young.
He is young. I think of that. Have you noticed how many old people show up at your high school reunions?
Yeah.
But in any event, yeah, it's just horrible. I mean, but in any event, one man came in and his family had disabilities and they had moved in with him, and he just got way behind in his rent and his utilities, and we were able to connect him with another organization who was able to get him $5,000 and bring him free and clear and start his life over again. And it wasn't his fault. I mean, he had his family move in, he got behind, and people are living on $1,100 and $1,200 a month out there. And it's amazing to me that people can get by on that. So I went home and proposed to my wife that we cut her budget. Well, half of 1,100 is 550. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I thought that just for a couple months, let's see how she does. I'll be moving with Phil to Arizona soon. But I know you would too. And that's the guy he is. We assist people in getting medical care, get their VA medical card. If you are a veteran and you don't have a VA medical card, go down to Vancouver and get it. Building 10 down in the Vancouver complex, it's easy. You might as well get it and have it, even if you don't need to use it right away. I was telling Mark that I attended the Blue Star Memorial just recently, and there was a speaker, and the speaker said, you know, the veterans, you're entitled to aid and attendance, which is true under certain circumstances, and there's some substantial financial criteria you have to meet in order to do that. But it's somebody that comes in and helps you during the day, comes to your residence and assists in taking care of your personal needs. But the speaker said you're entitled to aid and attendance, but didn't say anything about where to go to apply for it. And I thought, that's a major oversight, because we have 3 organizations in town, the VFW, the DAB, and the Veterans Service Center, where you can go in, sit down with a volunteer, and they will tell you how to apply for aid and attendance. Whatever your issue is with the VA, you can get assistance. We are blessed in this county. So I guess my message is, if you know a veteran, tell them about us. If they just want to come by and say hello, great. We'd love to talk to them. That's one of the reasons we're there. We have a staff of all volunteers, and some of the people who volunteer to be receptionists and man the phones and the like, they're so helpful. They're always concerned. They don't let it go. If there's somebody comes in and they have something that we don't think we can handle, they come up with ideas to help the veteran. That's how conscientious they are, and they're all volunteers. We have no paid positions. So, yes, Mr. Palmer.
About how many folks are you seeing on a monthly basis?
We see approximately 40 people on a weekly basis. So, and it's everything from food to housing. We help them complete the request with the Longview, the HOSWA, Housing Authority Southwest Washington, for a VIP program, Veterans Integration Program. We complete that and submit that to the Housing Authority. So we see them on a broad range of issues. But even if we can't just put them in a particular niche, we'll still try to help them and find out. There's an organization, Heaven, which we work closely with, and sometimes they can come up with funding for programs. So
it's pretty comprehensive. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a 21-year veteran of the United States Navy. When I decided to retire, I came to Cowlitz County because I was unemployed. I just can't keep a job. I became the prosecutor and then a judge. The best 21 years of my life was the United States Navy. We were all over the world. They always said, yeah, well, you know, you join the Navy, you'll either become an East Coast sailor or a West Coast sailor. Now, they started me in Gulfport, Mississippi. Have any of you ever lived in Mississippi? You got to have a good reason. You got to have a good, every kind of snake and bug known to man. I mean, it's just hot, humidity. You know, it doesn't matter. It's December the 25th. It was 92 degrees our first Christmas. In any event, then they transferred me to the West Coast, Seattle, then Japan, then back to Connecticut, Norfolk, Virginia, back to Bremerton, overseas to Rota, Spain, and then back to Whidbey Island. So they just couldn't figure out where to put me, where I'd do the least harm, right? Yeah, that's right. But it was a great experience. I mean, the Navy, both Cheryl and I agree that the Navy gave us more than we gave them. It was just an amazing experience. My kids didn't know what it was like to live in a house more than 2 years. I mean, so really, it was, you know, I think we averaged like 23 months at one point in my career when I retired. So they had to put up with making new friends, but they did get to see the world, and they will tell you that. So it was a great experience. I did have some funny experiences. No, this is more personal experience funny, right? Reported into a ship in Toulon, France. We'd been dragging recording equipment all over the Med, meeting up with ships, doing courts martial. It's not court martials, it's courts martial. And I was traveling, my court reporter was this 102-pound young woman who really wasn't very strong, so guess who had to carry all the recording equipment? And it was 2 big cases of recording equipment. It looked like a medium-sized suitcase. And I reported in and went to the ship, and this young ensign says, "I'm the legal officer, sir. May I help you?" It was hot. I was tired. I said, "Yes, that would be nice." So he grabbed the 2 pieces of equipment, and off we went. We went across the deck, down some various places. Who knows where we went? And then we went up one ladder, and I thought, oh, that's pretty good. And then we walked through the passageway into another ladder. And the ensign said, "This way, sir," and he starts up. And there was a break in the overhead, and I saw him clear that, because I wasn't going to start at that ladder until I saw him clear that break in the overhead. Well, he did. So I started up. And this is a ladder with a chain railing down the side. And I got up right to the top, and I heard, "Oh, shit." Excuse the language, but it's a quote. We can do that in court. We can use quotes. "Oh, shit." And I looked up, and here comes one of the pieces of a recording equipment. What I didn't know was the ladder went 2 decks. Oh, yeah. And so I scream, "Look out below!" And I rolled to my right, and it missed me, and bam, on the deck below. And then I grabbed the chain again, and then I heard the second, "Oh, shit." And I look up, and here comes the other piece of a recording equipment. And I screamed, "Look out below!" And boom, on the deck. And then I heard the third, "Oh, shit." And here comes the ensign. I grabbed that chain, and I held on, and he hit me in the chest. My head hit the overhead, and finally we got to the top. And I said, "What was the problem?" He said, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm I was out drinking too much. I'm hungover. I said, Ensign, if you can't do a job, just tell us. We would have been okay. But I mean, could you imagine the eulogy? How did Commander Stonier die? Well, it was sad. He was hit by a piece of recording equipment, fell a full deck down below, and broke his neck. You know, but in any event, we had those kinds of experiences. Flew off of carrier decks. I've actually landed on carriers. What an opportunity. I never thought growing up that I would ever be doing something like that. I had orders to go to Turkey, and the place was Golchuk, Turkey. It was a ship repair facility, and they had a court-martial to do. And so I was going to meet the trial counsel and the defense counsel there to do the trial, and I had no idea how to travel around Turkey. But my boss, who was in Naples, said, well, Norm, one of the other judges, he's been to Turkey. He'll give you directions. So I called Norm and I said, Norm, I'm going to Turkey and I'm going to rent a car and I need to get to Golchuk. He said, oh, I've been to Golchuk. I said, well, what do I do? He says, well, it's pretty easy. You drive across the bridge from Europe to Asia and you turn right. I took a cab. You know, there are other stories I could tell on other people. One of the great characters, and maybe some of you have heard of an Admiral Rickover. Yeah. He's the father of the nuclear navy. He's probably the father of nuclear energy in this country. For a long period of time, every engineer, nuclear engineer in this country came out of the nuclear navy. They were trained. This guy was dot the I, cross the T, double, triple check everything. Yeah, and the reason we didn't have any nuclear incidents in this country was probably Admiral Rickover, because he trained his engineers. Anybody in the nuclear navy, you had double, triple checks on everything. He would personally interview every academy grad and everybody coming out of ROTC who wanted to be in the nuclear navy. Had to have a personal interview with Rickover. So my friend Joe Smith was a lawyer in the civilian lawyer for the Navy, was in the nuclear Navy before he went to law school. And he told me the story that he was standing in line to go in for his interview, and the ensign that went in before him had gone up to the desk. Rickover had asked him a couple of innocuous questions and then said, do something to make me mad. And this young ensign panicked, looked at the desk in front of him, and there was a wooden model of a ship sitting on the desk. And he reached out with his hand and he crushed it. Rickover said, yeah, that made me mad, you're in. I know the story is true because Joe said he was the next to go in for his interview and there were wood chips everywhere. You know, but you know, the guy was eccentric, but really good at what he did. I don't know if any of you know this, but the Navy tried to retire him like 10 times, but every time there was an act of Congress which kept him on active duty. So probably the greatest compliment I've ever had in my life came while I was on the bench here in Cowlitz County. I got a call from a judge out of Minnesota, and he said, this is Jim Redford, do you remember me? I said, yeah, I remember you, Jim. He said, I appeared in front of you as a prosecutor out in Spain several times. And I said, I remember that, Jim. And he said, and you chewed me out any number of times. And I said, I remember that too. And he said, I just called to tell you that I deserved it. I said, well, that's big of you, Jim. I appreciate hearing that. He said, but I really called because there was a young man, a second-class petty officer, who was by the name of John Malay. And John was court-martialed in front of you, and the allegation had something to do with taking some property that he shouldn't have been taking. He didn't steal it, but he did. They claimed he misused it. And he pled guilty, and you didn't give him a bad conduct discharge. I argued vociferously for bad conduct discharge, and you didn't give it to him. I badmouthed you to everybody I talked to, which, you know, we're used to that because, you know, always blame the judge. In a divorce, you hear the attorneys going down the court, yeah, the judge. You know, you got to blame somebody. We have broad shoulders. John Malay, he stayed on active duty after that. He was on board the USS Iowa. He was in charge of one of the units where, I don't know if you remember, but one of the batteries, they had the cannons had an explosion and several people died, and the Navy did the investigation, and they found out that, well, the investigation was totally mishandled and the Navy got in a lot of trouble for it. But in any event, John Malay, he was a gunner in that area. When that explosion occurred, he went in 7 times. First time he activated the water extinguishers. The second time he proceeded to carry out 6 people who could have died from smoke inhalation. And Jim Redford said, the reason I called was to say, those people are alive today because you didn't give that guy a bad conduct discharge. And you were right, and I was wrong. And I said, that takes a lot to say, Jim. But maybe as a judge, you forget sometimes you're dealing with people's lives, and that when you make a decision, it has repercussions far beyond the fine, the penalty, the custody. You know, it's very, very challenging to a judge, and I think judges sometimes forget that. That was a reminder to me that whatever decision I made had repercussions. I could bore you with, I actually did a whole half an hour, I'll wrap this up, but I did a half-an-hour presentation to the Kiwanis about some of these sea stories I had. And I could come back and give you some more, but I don't have any notes. I'm doing this off the top of my head. But I really appreciate the Lions Club. I appreciate your support, all you do for the community, and especially for the Veteran Service Center. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim. I'm going to
Questions coming up there?
question, Phil.
Oh, I just wanted to make a comment since Jim started out with the burial privileges that veterans have. Back in the late 80s, my wife and I toured Punch Bowl National Cemetery in Hawaii, and she looked at me and she said, you know, I would visit you here if you were buried here. And then the guide said, we are running out of room. And my heart ran cold.
Turn that, would you bring Marilyn that mic? Marilyn? I'm going to give it to Marilyn now.
So Marilyn, Ralph is offline. Just so you know.
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests, first I'd like to say thank you, Jim. I really enjoyed your presentation, and spontaneous reaction to have to speak is really good. I also appreciate your direct personality. You always speak the truth or what you feel is the best thing to say at that moment. And I like people like that. I do. I appreciate that. Okay. Lions, I have the honor again tonight to give 5 chevrons to fellow Lions in our group. First of all, I would like to ask Gretchen actually Hill to stand up because she has earned her permanent badge. I'll trade you. Thanks. Great. Do you want me to get there? Yay! Okay, now Lions, every week we do this hybrid Zoom meetings, and several Lions get to see us and hear us, but they don't get to speak too much. But today, Ralph Lasante, is he still there? Oh, he went off. We should have done it early. Next time he comes. Okay. So I would just like to ask these Lions to stand. I have 4 Lions in our audience. Steve Hulst, I'm so glad you're here today. Would you just stand for a minute? You didn't know that you were going to get recognized, did you? I have a chevron for 10 years of being a Lion in the Pioneer Lions. Yeah. Once a year. Marie Speck. Marie, you have the honor of being 25 years a Lion. And for those of you that may not know, she is a past president. She was the first lady president in our club, as I remember. Congratulations. Oh, Cindy's taking a picture. Oh. And I don't know how it is, but Walt Speck, would you mind standing now? Thank you, Marie. Walter, you have earned 45 years as a Pioneer Lion. Wow. Again, congratulations. You want to smile at Cindy? She got it? Okay.
He joined when he was 50.
So, what month did you join? Do you remember? I don't have that down. What month? Don't know. Okay. Well, Jerry McCormick, would you mind standing? Jerry, you've earned 45 years of being a Lion in the Pioneers as well. So congratulations. So, do any of you have your pin on today? I walked away with it. Mine's on my jacket. But you realize that you can take that chevron, you've got your just below, and you can show the amount of years that you've been a Lion. For every chevron, there's a 10-year chevron, there's a 15-year chevron, 20, 25, and on up. And when you get to about 45 or 40 years, there's no more room for all those chevrons, and so it just is distinctive by saying 45 years on it. So that's pretty cool. Is it good? Oh, all's good. Okay. Thank you, Tom, for letting me do that today.
And Ralph was how many years?
Ralph went on.
I know, but how many years was he?
More.
Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Steve for a quick announcement. Stevie. Steve Patterson.
President Tom, Lions and guests, we are leaving. No. Let me finish.
Why don't you start?
Larry, let me finish. We're leaving applications for Maryland's conference. We'll be having them left each week at the table, so if you're planning on attending, it's May 13th and 14th. And I was hoping, Mark left, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay, I'll talk to him later. Okay. Anyway, just a reminder that we'll have them available for the next 3 months.
Thanks. Greg?
President Tom, Pearl Lanes, yes, I got a few announcements. that one. Darlene is not here today. Past President's meeting will be March 16th, Wednesday evening, over at the Kelso Elks, and it'll be 6 o'clock meeting. And anybody that has a desire to be on the board, get in touch with one of the past presidents and let them know.
Are you ready here?
Last couple of months, we have not had a Sight and Hearing Foundation meeting. Week from tomorrow, we will have one. That'll be Cadbury Park, 6:30 up on the second floor. And the last announcement I have, we have a core group that are planning their club's 100th anniversary celebration. And we have decided that we need a pin for that. A light, everybody got one of our, club pins. We need a new design. And my suggestion would be to have something oval, the wagon on it, something 100 years of service to the community or something or another. And then we'll get a group together, decide what we really want, and give us plenty of time to get it made. So, Two pins. Thank you.
She's gonna do it. Hey Hal, I think Cheryl's gonna do it, I think.
Oh, you do Sandy Cat's announcement? Because she just sent me a message.
Go ahead, you got the mic.
Well, President Tom fell allowed to guess you. Sandy is covered by 2 people. And it says, can you remind people that Monday is Roaring for Reading book distribution giveaway at Columbia Heights Elementary. A few signups are available online. I asked a couple of people to announce this, but I don't think they may have gotten the message. Just so you know, Cheryl did get the message. And we have 2 thumbs up.
All right, you still may not?
That would be the afternoon session, 12 to 3. 2 slots still open, Columbia Heights Elementary, next Monday.
I don't think I need that.
Yeah, you do.
12 to 3, January 7th, Columbia Heights. Roaring for Reading event. It's lots of fun. Be there or be square. Did I say January? Oh, well, that's wrong. It would be February 7th. It's already February, folks. February 1st.
Okay, to the back. Cindy and Pat Palmer's got something, I guess. You guys only got about a minute.
I'll go fast. President Tall, members and guests, we have this Friday, February 11th is a Fellowship of Squares. They get into a game, but all are invited to this. If you want to learn more about the Lions, things like this, you really should attend. It's going to be Zoom. It's already been sent out, so there is a link that you can get. Thursday, February 3rd, there's a visitation to Winlock. Is that still in person? Okay, so I have the wrong address. I have Guadalajara's restaurant, which I would have preferred. 5:30 no food, and I'll get that. And if somebody wants to, just give me a call or text me or email me. I have several ways you can get hold of me. And 2, this came up. We have a new fundraiser. The Ridgefield Lions have got a hold of me. They are doing a LNA, the casino, Brew Fest, and that's February 18th, 19th, that's twice on the 19th, and Sunday the 20th. So they need 65 people per session. And Saturday, February the 19th is the Lions Day. So that's a preference. So if you are interested in doing that, I'm sending this link out, and you get a hold of the Ridgefield Lions board/volunteer. I'll send this out to you to sign up. To sign up through them, though. And it's like $20 per person that they're donating to us as the Pioneer Lions. I'll send this out and you can read it even more. So I'll say more next time.